this iconic character, Grinch, right?
Yep.
So we know how he looks in the books. We know how he looks in the animated shows. How is he going to look as a real life character? And this is not, again, they decided don't go CG, right? He wasn't going to be just an animated kind of character. You've seen these movies are animated and live action. They're going to build it, and they hire Rick Baker, the best special effects makeup artist in the world, hands down, the most decorated, multiple Oscar.
Right. Everyone's seen at least a few movies that he's done.
Go ahead and
Dozens.
Look him up on IMDb.
It just keeps going and going and going.
That's right.
And it's all quality stuff.
Batman, Star Wars. I mean, this is one of the most decorated guys in our business in any department ever. But the decision to go practical comes with other ramifications.
Right.
Because you can't take a suit home. You can't sleep in a suit. A suit doesn't stay on you. You have to put it on in the morning, the makeup, and you have to take it off at night. And that requires a lot of time and a lot of sitting still for the actor. And there's a long history of this and challenges. I think this particular one was probably close to the record. He began to psychologically and emotionally break down. I think he described it as feeling like he was going through torture, to have to sit still like that for so long. And he's spoken publicly about this. He became temperamental. He was kicking holes in his trailer. It's hard to take. The only thing I can relate to personally, I had to do a bald cap in the Spider-Man movie. It was about an hour and a half. I wanted to rip the makeup chair out. It is real, and this is just on my head, not my face, my body, the whole thing. It was nothing compared to what he went through, and it was really hard to sit still. So this became extremely disruptive. There's a great featurette out there that shows how painstaking the makeup process was. So Rick Baker runs the company, does the designs, but you assign someone as your on-set person who would work with Jim daily. And that was Kazuhiro Tsuji, and became too much for Kazuhiro to take, I think, some of the outbursts, and he walked off the show. And this was really an issue because I think they were in love. It's a huge movie. They're in love with the look when they get there, but they don't know how they're going to get Jim to agree to over 90 days of production, by the way, a 90-day production schedule, which is a big one.
Right.
You can have, decent sized movies, 45, 50 days.
Right.
This is a 90-day movie because it takes a lot to do this. And so they bring in a CIA operative who specializes in particular how to train people to go through torture.
To endure torture.
That's right. So he would train people who might get captured eventually, people who were, had a high level of probability of getting captured to prepare them for waterboarding and other things, which I think they were drawing parallels to what Jim was going through in this. And he had some cool techniques, some specific things that he gave him. Part of the theory is to sort of get your mind to separate. So he said he would chain smoke a lot. I don't know if Jim was a smoker or not, but he would chain smoke.
The CIA told him to chain smoke, keep your mind off of it.
Yeah, and he had to have a very long cigarette holder to not burn the yak hair.
Right. You don't want to go up. Bad way to go.
You don't want to go up in flames.
You could slap yourself. You could punch yourself in the leg. You'd have other people slap you.
He said you could have other people walk by. I guess he gave the green light. He's like, hey, man, if you just cruise by the makeup trailer, just give me a whack. And it's all good.
So I'm guessing this is all distraction and avoidance of where you are at this moment. So sometimes music helped him out. And for whatever reason, out of his own lips, Jim Carrey said, the Bee Gees is what really helped him somehow go into another world.
Maybe it didn't help the rest of the crew, but it wasn't about them that day.
No.
It was every day it was about Jim. This is when and this happens, rumors start moving around Hollywood as word, Hollywood is big, but it's a small town. And it loves to gossip.
Yep.
And it loves to gossip about each other. And friends love to gossip about friends.
That's why I don't have any friends.
That's when you're better.
Kind of quiet.
Your enemies are better friends. Your friends gossip more than your enemies. I remember hearing these rumors that Jim was demanding that there be certain temperatures on the set.
Everyone does that.
And I heard that he was building tubes to walk through, like hallways, so that they kept it climate regulated. Whether it's true or not true, and certainly people, in my opinion, can kind of set up the world how they want it if they're in a position to do so. But that's yak hair. And that's like wearing a full fur coat. So it would not surprise me, whatever the real reason is, he's trying to, and I think for good reason, set up some parameters so he can be successful. Because then after all this bullshit that you go through, you got to go perform.
Right.
It's not like then you get to go home. He's like, yeah, I did it. 2.5 hours. Give me a prize. It's like, no, dude, you now have 10 hours of acting you have to do.
Right. And you're not just doing speeches. He is rolling around and he is as animated as Jim Carrey has ever been. And I think at the peak of this kind of stuff, it's got to read visually and his words and combine.
And guess what, Jim? For about 65% of the movie, there's no one else in the scene with you.
Right.
It's just you talking to yourself, monologuing. Oh, I'll tell you what, we'll give you a dog. The dog won't speak, but you'll have something to look at.